executive, they are paradise. The final minister, they are paradise. So if the president gave go ahead, I also support the go ahead that the military equipment come, but all the issue that has to do with the university, comparing that, let me know this money, and you know the 400 million cathedral that should have been constructed, and you know by the former president, it was complete. It's a different thing. The university in Lofa, if it were in Nima, I swear to God, you're not saying because you know.
Chief.
You don't know the geography of Lofa.
Bossman, 1 minute. I don't have. You see, let's reason together. Let's forget about I'm not talking about geographic
because
of
you
Lofa.
don't know it, you condemn it.
No.
You don't know it.
Charles.
You don't. Yes.
Charles, 1 minute now. You see, I'm a very different person. Choice of words important. Everything. I don't use the word condemn easily. Follow my track record on radio. I don't easily use the word condemn. I don't use that word easily. When I'm using that word, then it's extreme. I don't use the word. All that I'm saying and I'm repeating is, we have an existing facility in Lofa. Bossman, wait, me and Asike, Bossman. But you saying the same thing over and over.
No.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you. Bye. The same thing you said there, I see you repeating, nothing changing. Good morning.
Thank you for not wasting our time this morning.
Nothing changing, Charles.
My name is Mame Sikaba. It is quite laughable when I hear my brother say Gongano saying that Honorable Nyika is angry because he's in opposition. It's so unfortunate. This is a brother who used to work in the office of the ruling party, the CDC party's lawmaker, and yet he still criticized us. He did not consider his action at the time.
Who office you are working in?
Honorable Eva Moya Kone. Honorable Eva Moya Kone was on our party ticket as our party lawmaker. But this brother called on almost all the radio stations, disagree with our leadership. They said question the president's decision. He wasn't angry at the time, but now
you mean even at the time you were working in Vamuya's office, he criticized the government.
And that is upon God. Yes, he knows it, but he wasn't angry at the time. He does not consider his action as being angry at the time. But today, when we speak to ills, we speak against ills in society committed by his government. He considers us as being angry. It is just unfortunate. I will just let that go.
Okay.
But I just wanted to raise that concern about his hypocrisy. Now let's go to the issue. We need to be compassionate, Clarence, for people to tell us that the reason why the guy lied on the ground was because he did not want to be arrested is somehow wicked. Because this brother is not your family member, so you just categorize the entire situation in such a heartless manner. This guy was arrested wrongfully and taken to a unknown location because his family members spoke. They went to the police station.
When you say wrongfully, I don't know what you mean, because if the police get tipped off on somebody, they can tell you and get you.
No, they don't have tip on him. They do not have evidence. If they have evidence, they would have prepared the rate for him to be sent to court.
Mamesi, what I'm talking about, evidence is different. Say, for example, something happened at OKFM and we think it is Mamesi Kaba who did it. We can inform the police can pick you up.
The circumstances under which he was arrested was wrong, taken to a different location, being tortured, and his family members searched for him, he could not be found. It was wrong, and this action reminds us of our ugly past.
Okay,
we cannot be in a situation under this government where people will be tortured. If you have pieces of evidence, there's no need to take someone to an unknown location and torture them. You are aware that a Guinean national was taken from the prison compound. Up to now, that person cannot be produced. And you taking this guy to an unknown location on grounds that he works in the office of the speaker, and because he was at work when the incident occurs, and you think he's part of the situation, it is wrong.
Thank you. It is wrong, my man. See, you've had your say. Let's take the final call. Our guests are already here. Hello.
Good morning, Clarence.
Thank you for all your patience. You've been on this line 5 minutes now. Let's hear you.
Yeah, this is Hilary Kedibweje, and I want to say belated happy birthday.
Yeah, Bweje, thank you. Thank you, my brother.
Clarence, one thing that tried to strike my mind is Clarence, we are losing our consciousness as people. The power of patriotism trying to get away. Clarence, when the alleged action of the horse, happened, Clarence. I mean, when I said that thing, why should a group of persons or somebody have that thought, to put fire on a national building? That act, it was completely honest. There's nobody of consciousness could have done that. But then, surprisingly, skillfully, my big brother or Gabriel Yekan, who I admire so much, he tried to play with words, right? You cannot be condemning and comparing, the action to something that happened or somebody removal. I mean, it's completely unfortunate. I mean, I admire Gabriel as one of my big brothers, and I mean, whether in politics, but he's my big brother, I really, really admire him. But to come play war this morning and saying that, at the end, this thing happened because, no, it's completely unfortunate, big brother. So, I mean, it's something that we as people, like you said, politics is a politics of jobs. Everybody in this country, we try to lose our consciousness. Everything we do in this country is politics.
Thank you. Politics is a politics of jobs. He said our politics, Liberia's politics. Politics is a politics of jobs. Yes, we have our two friends here from, I'm sure by extension, the MDR. I don't want to jump into conclusion, but they are here. We'll talk about the late Senator Prince Johnson. You heard Franklin Dolokwe report from Nimba, talk a lot about preparation efforts and how the county is being mobilized. I see Superintendent Miampe Kou Gondo doing a lot of good job. I saw the main street in Sani Kode, the way it's being designed. And then I saw the welcome to Baila, right to Sokopa, the entry from Bong into Nimba. So it seems the authorities there are doing a lot so that Liberia, I think the people of Nimba want to showcase something. They want to use the death of Senator Prince Johnson to showcase something to the country. Gentlemen, I'd like to say good morning, welcome. We will start from the guy wearing a hat.
Well, thank you ever so much, Big Brother Clarence Jackson, and thanks to your listening audience. My name is Darius Kiwemi, and I'm the son of Senator Johnson by extension.
Okay.
Thank you, Clarence. My name is Dononkolo, Raphael Emmanuel Dononkolo II. I'd like to say thank you for hosting us today as we eulogize our fallen hero and father.
Are you the Assistant Minister at Labor?
Assistant Minister at Labor Ministry for Aid and Registration and Liberalization.
Okay. 1 minute. Darius, I will borrow 3 minutes of your time for the sake of the state. Police spokeswoman Cecilia Clark is on this line. Cecilia, good morning.
Good morning,
Cecilia.
Clarence, and good morning to Liberia. Thanks for having me.
Okay, Cecilia.
I was in a tight situation the morning. I needed to drop my daughter.
It's okay. It's okay. I saw the text message.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm monitor.
How are you doing? How are you doing?
I'm doing great. By
Okay.
His grace.
Now, talk to us. Give us a little bit of information because we got guests now. I hope you can
Exactly.
answer our question.
I will go straight to the issue.
Yeah.
But before I get to the issue, let me just say that it's so unfortunate, especially with the two last callers in person of Yinka, Comrade Yinka, or Council Yinka, because he and I are at the law school. But it's unfortunate. I'm speaking in regards to his statement made, but however,
Let's go to the main issue
for
first.
MMC, I'm not for MMC. She may be speaking on an ignorant, but I just want to school her that the police can arrest in criminal proceeding. The police can arrest based on probable cause. The police can arrest in plain view doctrine, and the police can arrest with a warrant. The criminal investigation start with the police, but I will take another time to.
Yeah, maybe you need to come. We'll talk about that. But
Yes, so let me go to the issue. Let's go to the
where
issue.
was this guy arrested, and why did you arrest him?
This is why I'm coming to. Nobody is going to derail this whole thing and make it look like a drama. everybody, anybody, our system is such that it's an adversary system, and you have your day to meet your accuser in court. So when the police is coming in, it's because criminal proceedings start with the police, and that is an arrest, and he was not wrongfully arrested, like stated. But let's go to the issue.
Yeah.
Thomas Etheridge, maybe I may not pronounce his name rightly, but it's Thomas Isaac Etheridge.
Mm-hmm.
He works here in the office of Honorable Kofa as a maintenance person. He was picked up every morning, Clarence, on the 18th. He was picked up on the grounds of the Capitol in a white pickup as early as 6:40, 6:50. In a white pickup, issue hour with plate number issue hour 98. He was one of those taken at our headquarters and with more than 60 person. And the speaker called his lawyer, Honorable Kofa, called his lawyer to sign for him particularly. And the counselor that signed for him name is Counselor Jonathan Masquer. Honorable Kofa sent people, his lawyer, to sign for him after he was picked up at between 6:40 a.m. to 6:50 a.m. on the grounds of the Capitol when the Capitol was being gutted by fire that morning. So while the investigation was ongoing, there was we needed to talk to him further. There was additional information after he was signed for by Honorable Kofa's lawyer. So there was a need to talk to him because of additional information that was given, our Clarence. So at that point, when the additional information was given, he started avoiding his house. He was not seen around his house. And the info was given that he was with a lady. He was tapping, a lady was hosting him, a lady who works in Honorable Kofa office. There where he avoided his house when the police, after he was signed for, and the police got additional information that he should come because at that point, there were persons of interest. So the info was given that he was in Congo Town, later in the Congo Town belt, and with one Eric Sose. So at that point, he escaped when the information was given that he was there. When the police went to make the arrest, he escaped, and Eric and two other persons were arrested. When he escaped, what he did, according to information, he gave money to one tool, TOE, one tool in Honorable Kofa office to prepare passport for him, his child, and his spouse. So he went, and later on, he was still in hiding. He went, according to the info, he went to Sierra Leone border and criminally used different names to obtain a laissez-passer. So when the police couldn't find him, he went to Sierra Leone. When the police couldn't find him, so we requested that his lawyer bring him, and the lawyer requested for a few days to bring him. So briefly, that's the situation. That how the arrest was made. And what happened at the Capitol yesterday?
So 1 minute. So the truth here is this guy was arrested in Sierra Leone.
No. He went in Sierra Leone, but the counselor that signed for him, Counselor Jonathan, Honorable Kofa's counselor, he sent his lawyer to sign for him.
Yeah.
So when they couldn't see him, when he faked that laissez-passer, he obtained a fake laissez-passer under a different name. He went to Sierra Leone. So he was requested to be brought, and the lawyer was requested because he signed for him, of course.
So the point I want to make, so the lawyer brought him back and seconded him to you people.
Exactly.
Okay.
The lawyer requested for a few days.
So the police got evidence that this guy went to the Liberian Sierra Leone border and used a different name to obtain a laissez-passer.
Clarence, we got more evidence, but for This is a criminal investigation. This is a security investigation. We cannot put everything on to prejudice
Yeah,
or
no, no, no. Yeah,
compromise
it's
the
okay.
investigation.
It's
But we
okay.
just want to speak to this because of what is in it. And we just want to let the public know this situation will not be derailed. The issue here is the Capitol building was allegedly, there was an ISO attack at the Capitol and it was established by the police, and nobody going to play politics with this.
Thank you,
Nobody.
Sisi.
Our system is an adversary system. You get a day to meet your accuser in court, and the police have all rights to arrest based on warrant when there's probable cause and in plain view, and there are probable cause for his arrest.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll update you as the investigation unfold, or anything you can get to me and we'll make it clear.
Thank
so
you.
that
Thank
thing
you,
yesterday,
Cecilia.
it was just stage managed, as said by a reporter. Thank you so much and have a very good day. And thank you to the Liberian public for listening always for our side of the story.
Thank
because
you.
most of the time when they hear police,
But
people get
final question. Do you know what you arrested this guy? Did you turn him over to the NSA as even though you said that security issue? I'm asking because of this the information about torture.
But Clarence, let me make this clear. The issue of torture is baseless. It's misinformation, malinformation. Nobody going to treat this particular alleged branding of the Capitol as politics. No, nobody is going to be scot-free. You'll be arrested by the police, charged, and forwarded to court.
Did you torture him?
You have your day. He was never tortured.
Thank you,
It's a lie.
Let me leave
I
you
say sorry to say that, but it's a lie.
Thank you.
It's intended to derail the whole process.
Thank you. Police spokesperson Cecilia Clark. Gentlemen, thank you. We can 30 minutes. Okay, we can still talk to it. I hope we'll follow this thing over the coming days. The reason why it's good to call all these people is for the public to have an understanding. Let erase all these speculations. I wish you could hear from him, but now he'll be investigated. I know people send me the video. I don't know whether he the one explaining the torture. I will listen to the video. But Cecilia Clark said, on the morning of the branding of the Capitol building, this guy was picked up. He was placed in a white pickup. Among all the other people, they sent them to the police station. Then she said, in battle speaker Funati Kofa particularly sent, and I know that the Councilor Jonathan Mazakwe, who was the former head of the War Crimes Court team, she said in battle speaker Kofa particularly sent a lawyer to sign for this guy, which was, anybody can sign for anybody, lawyer. They took this guy home. But then apparently the police started getting additional information on this guy. So they needed this guy. But at the time the guy went on, the police probably were working with plainclothes people and were doing a lot of things. They noticed now that the guy was not sleeping to his horse anymore. He was sleeping to another person's place to come out town. Fast forward, apparently the police was still tailing him. Then he gave money to somebody to fix his passport, left, went to the Sierra Leonean border, and according to Cecilia, they got evidence that the guy changed his name and obtained a laissez-passer and then entered into Sierra Leone. But then when the police kept behind his lawyer, apparently his lawyer managed to get him back, and that was it. That is the police side. All right, the two guys are here. Gentlemen, thank you. You introduced yourself already. Darius, I know you are bereaved, mourning the death of Senator Johnson, your political leader, and the person you consider a father. In fact, when I saw the information that Senator Johnson died, you were my point of contact that morning. I knew. I said to myself, once anything Darius tells me, that is it. So by the time I called you and you started crying, I just knew Senator Johnson was there. How are you guys coping with this whole thing after the death of Senator Johnson?
Well, Brother Clarence, it's not an easy task to just quickly forget about his memory and the time we've been together. Like I always told people, since I was born, my biological father, sister, and a lot of people then passed off. It never really hurt me as compared to Senator Johnson, who brought me at this level of life or in life. So it's not just easy, but we just have to accept it some kind of way so that it can erase from our mind maybe years to come.
Yeah. Okay, but let's talk. How did you? I know you heard the name. As a man from Nima yourself, Prince Johnson, Senator Johnson. How did you get to know him? To get to come close to him like that? Because at some point, you were his side by side man. How did you get to know him?
All right. Around 2016, 2015, 2016, when I was in Calcutta, he has gone to open his political party there in Calcutta. So, but then I was in the active field of journalism, working with Radio Calcutta. But then, so I heard so the senator is in town. So by the time I got to the party headquarters, he was almost like leaving, and I saw a team of journalists standing, and no one to go around. No, they were like afraid, or they were trying to arrange protocol to talk with him. So I rushed quickly and took my microphone from my journalism bed by then, and then show it straight to his car. I said, I want to talk with you, I want to have interview with you. So his driver was like, want to move the car. He said, no, let me talk with the journalist. So that how all of them came around, all of my colleagues that was standing came around. So we begin to conduct interview with him about his ambition, how to want to become president of Liberia, and what have you. So through that interview,
You mean 2015?
around 2015, 2016,
Okay.
something like that. So through that interview, he said, "Oh, my man, what's your name?" I call my name. Oh, Darius Williams. Okay, my man. Okay, you are my journalist here in Kakata. In fact, I'm going Bon County today, so join me. Let's go. And how I joined him when we opened another political party over there. We do the coverage of it. I came back, so we changed numbers, and all of the time call me. We have some discussions. Sometimes on the radio, like normally do, call him. We have discussion, what have you. So later on, he said he want to be having his summer played on our radio station in Calcutta. So we arranged that his summer used to be playing. So almost every Sunday now, he used to call me, oh my man, come to church, let's do this. And I have begin so close to him. Most of his activity, doing coverage of it. Even at point in time, I have to leave from Calcutta now to move to Monrovia after my mission was accomplished there. So and I had him as I begin so friend, talk to me like a son. Sometimes when I go to your house, he will bring his food, he must say eat together, would lecture. Just, I mean, I had never seen somebody who and him can just sit down and lecture. If he will go to church, if Senator Johnson is to preach, if he not see me in direct with me and my brother who is here, Raphael Donokoro, to do his coverage, because Raphael also used to stream his preaching through Facebook, Pepperbird, and the rest of it. So at point in time, we'll go to church, people will be calling, oh, man, we're going to summon the old man, we're going to be preaching on today, like that. We'll come from, before he go preach, we'll go and sit with him, have some discussion in your office, just talk, some politics, some things, and what have you here. So before now, we'll go back. You say, oh, my man, this is what I want to talk about today. The government like this, and I will take it from the book of this, and then it matches someone so that, the Bible is a book of all books. So you see a social gospel, you see this, you see everything inside. So then we'll have some argument. At the end of the day, it's okay, gentlemen, okay, this is what happened. But on the God side, he was so, I don't know, but he was very, very faithful for what I saw of him. And I strongly believe that he was faithful because some of the things he used to lecture us on, he used to do before, he's not doing it again. We observe it and see a lot of good things, The only place I didn't really travel with Senator Johnson was to leave from Liberia to go abroad. At the time, he used to go fast. But any part of Liberia he goes, I will go with him. Raphael will go with him, and other team members will also go with him. And then, just as it is, yeah. But now, when the very day before his death, we all were in Nemba.
We'll come there. Don't worry. We'll come there. Raphael, let's hear you, man. How did you come in touch with Senator Johnson, the late senator of Nimba?
Thank you for.
You want to pull the mark because of your height? You can pull it out any way you want it to go. You'll go. Yeah.
Okay. My relationship with Senator Johnson started somewhere 2014, 2015, when he was building the Christ Chapel of Faith Ministry in the LBS community. There where I used to reside. So people have been saying a lot of speculations about the character of Senator Johnson, especially from the dark days. So as a young man, I thought it was to get close to him because that time too, to some extent, I was deeply involved with politics too as a young person, very exuberant. And then I thought to get close to him to really understand the nature of this Senator Johnson, that, politicians being, printing some way negative to the public. So when I got close to him, to some extent, he held me close, and then we became more of having some conversation, knowing him better. So he was some way appealing to me as a young person to give my life to Christ. And he started, like every time we lecture, he will always, bring out biblical stories, biblical examples and things. So I started saying to myself, I said, but the man people been talking about, they were different thing on the radio. I seen different person here. I didn't know that this man could, evangelize to me to support or to give my life to Christ. So from that time onward, it became everyday relationship. Every day the relationship started developing until this point. So what I told myself was, somewhere in 2017, I said, but I have known this man, and the character he has is one that is even compared to my father, because Senator Johnson was like a father to me, a mentor to me, a friend to me, and everything, because we did a lot of things in common. He called 2 days past, Senator Johnson, I called to speak to you or to lecture with you for maybe an hour. So now you will get tired, say you not know what to say. But he will be telling you, he will bring the other lecture, you'll bring the other lecture, your lecture, the political side, the religious side, and different sides. Just to, have that kind of, freedom to talk to him and to, say things from your mind. He was that kind of person. So when the relationship developed to that extent, when I got to understand the real character of Senator Johnson, I asked him one day, I said, but Senator, the way people talking, all the different things about you on the media, and I getting to know, I understand that you are not that person that people perceive you are. I think this, your preaching and this, your lifestyle, some things you can do, it is important that we publicize it so that people get to see the real Senator Johnson, especially the preaching here, because he was very religious and he knew the Bible very well, to the extent that he would just sit and, and start to make some biblical references to some situation. So I said, but then let me start to stream the services so that people know the person you are. So I started carrying the program live on the internet, every preaching of him, every some way beautiful photo of him on the social media. I started doing it by myself to ensure that at least some memories of him or some video evidence can be there for his life, the life he lived. To a point that at some point in time, people started judging, the people who believe in the rhetoric of the politicians, and other people who knew the person he are started taking him to be more religious than that of the one the politicians been talking about. So that has been the relationship between him and myself, and it was very fun, and I didn't think of this anywhere near, but it just took us by surprise. So we are ready. We are ready, feeling bad, and this is a moment that is very hard for us to get over.
What kind of person, other than the religious side, what kind of person was he? Did he get angry? Did you ever see him get angry before? Whenever he was angry, what cooled him down? And did he sometimes talk to you about his participation in the war, maybe, and say, yes, they can say some of the things they say about me. I thought I was a soldier. I'm changed now. Did he at some point show remorse for his participation in the war, that this is not the Prince Johnson that was fighting the war anymore? Did he get angry? How did you guys go about him? Because people thought he was politically, he was too, what do I want to use?
Controversial.
He was controversial, but besides that, you could not determine his next mood.
Yeah. So when we always maybe have to, when we raise that, he will always say, my school of thought as a revolutionary, there are some things that I can't just explain my move to you, because if I do so, maybe somebody may want to use it against me in the next coming days. But as per the life he lived, you were asking, I think, what kind of life he lived, what type of person he was. Senator Johnson was a father like any father. There are times that Darius and myself here, he would get angry for some things we would do, but then when you come to him, Papa, sorry, when we lecture the things you want to hear, we just tell him, he calms down. So he was not that person that would get vexed, and take it to his heart and want to, harm somebody. But for the war days that people were already talking about, Senator Johnson was somebody that was really, really deeply interested in justice.
You think
Evidence.
So? You think so?
Very, very interested in justice and the rule of law. Evidence by his normally Senator Johnson preaching. If you watch all the preaching, you notice that he all follow advocacy for the downtrodden. So it was just some group of politicians just. Okay, people advocating for war and economic crime code, we Senator Johnson were very interested in at some point in time. But other politicians, instead of using the rightful framework to establish this code, they will not do it. But they will see him as somebody to almost like every time they see Senator Johnson walking through the corridor, and they start to use it as something to provoke him. So that was why he was strongly against. Like of recent, this government, the Joseph Boakai-led government started advancing on this war crime code issue, and then they did a resolution at the House. Senator Johnson probably signed a resolution, and he said, this is, I think the proceeding has started. I signed a resolution when he came to the office. He told Darius and the rest of the colleagues there. He said, "But I signed a resolution because this entire thing." Like one time, he gave one reference of I think the Montserrat County Senator Darius DeLong seeing him through the corridor. And started provoking the old man, like coming to the ear closer and saying war crime code.
War crime code.
As though
they were those are jokes, but Senator Johnson didn't take those.
But that's he's another man. You can't joke other people with the same joke. Now they're having other people there are other people like the lack of other people who fought the war in the House. They same joke, they were not doing it to them like that too. But when they see Senator Johnson around, then he bring that joke. So Senator Johnson, but if you want to bring a war crime code, bring a war crime code. I have signed a resolution.
Other than Gio,
Uh-huh.
did you hear Senator Johnson speaking any other dialect?
He used to understand some other dialects. He used to understand the Manon, the Gio. I think to some extent the Crown. To some extent.
The crown.
Yeah, to some
Darius,
extent. Yeah.
Darius, you were also with the senator. Did he play with children? Was he a jovial person when you were around him? Do you feel lively?
Oh yes. He played with children. In fact, he's jovial. He used to be a jovial father. Yeah. Sometimes we'll go sit down. We'll just have some conversations like we are his peer, And even when he is boring, he call the little children, sit down. They have, just explain grandfather's story to the children. How he used to be doing those things, right? So he's a jovial person. He used to be a jovial person.
So like he had no source of his own recreation was after capital building, go back home.
Yeah.
Sit down with the children on a porch there, his grandchildren. He with them every time, there are some that will be memorizing Bible verses. Sometimes when you teach them those Bible verses and they know it perfectly, you bring them to the church.
Yes.
You say, let my other daughter, you can see my other daughter, that she say the Bible verse, or that she sing this song. She sings the song because he was very close to the small children. I mean the 5 years old, 6 years old children that used to be in the house. So every time you go to the house, you will always see them there to the extent that maybe my son, who is somewhere 5 years old, too far in extension, say he asked one day, "Oh, Raphael, you coming to me today? Bring my son, let me see him." So I had to bring the ball to him. He saw the ball that time. We took photos, and he was happy, getting some little token. He laughed with the ball. So he was. But people from the other side, when you sit when you look at just one side of the person's life, like when you read a history book, and then you just see that, oh yeah, Sunday man did this, so it means that he's a favorite, and not knowing that that time happened, and people are remorseful about what they did, but they can't do. You can't change it now. It already happened. But the person, character. It's just human being is just the Senator Johnson was just that nice person that
Darius,
I know.
Is there any other name, jovial name, all of you guys will call him at some point? Besides the Senator Johnson, Johnson, is there any jovial name you will call him?
Yeah, the name he gave us, Raphael myself, when we enter sometimes in your office or to your house, you call my man.
Yeah.
My man.
You see that? So
then you call him my man.
Yeah, my man. Just like that, My man. Yeah, my man. They say, and not easy to the internet. We'll talk all the politics then, what have you, and come back to normal. I said, he was just a good old man.
When elections were ever coming, was he at any point afraid that he would be defeated as a senator in Nimba?
No, for the time I've been with him going for elections and all campaign activity, Senator Johnson was not really worried about being defeated and what have you. His concern normally was people who he will give support to become
reciprocate.
president, to reciprocate. That was his concern. But Senator Johnson was not worried about whether he's going to win. I mean, lost election. It wasn't even his thinking. But he just used to go pile around like he campaigning to speak to the people and what have you. That just, but he was unafraid. He was not worried about anything, and he was just moving on and on and on.
And one thing he used to do that some way try to every time when we sit with him, Senator Johnson used to move by his instinct. When Senator Johnson tells you this, my heart said this will happen. To some extent, it will happen.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He used to move by his instinct. When Senator Johnson is convinced by something and he tells you this, if you downplay it, you will get to realize that in the soonest future, that same thing will happen, and then you will say, "Oh, but I told you." So I think evidence by 2019, was it 2019 when after the former president election, we had election. I think we sat under the corner of the tree at the university compound.
Yeah.
And then he said, "Oh, what kind of lecture?" I saying it today, yes. Senator Johnson will be Senator President we will be a one-term president.
Yeah.
Mark my word.
Mama word.
This is 2019, and I'm saying it.
Yeah.
That's what he told you.
He
Yeah,
told,
he
I
told
think the
us.
recording is got established recording
Yeah.
for that. He said it publicly, and he even invited journalists from the radio. I think he asked you to invite journalists.
Later on, after he said that, he said, "You'll call the journalists."
And he
then
said that.
when the
And-
journalists came, I don't want coordinator the interview by them. So how he said that George Weah will be a one-term president. My instinct has told me it's going to happen. Just watch my word. I'm not going to support
And
it.
eventually it happened.
It happened.
And many other things that we used to do along the way on the low level, and it would just happen. So for that,
He used to like music. He used to like singing.
Yeah.
Did he play any instrument?
he used to play some. I think in the
In
Providence Baptist Church.
Yeah.
I think he used to be part of the choir there, according to him, during his younger days.
During your youthful days.
And for his love of music, it has made us, like me now sitting here, there are some songs that if I just hear them, I will cry. Yeah, because of
Wow.
some music he used to sing when he on the pulpit. Because for me, I used to put a camera every time before him. I used to know why he liked. Every time there are some special songs that he would sing when he come and preach. So when those songs somebody just sing it beside me, I will cry because it would just remind me
The
about.
emotion.
I would just start to get reminded about the senator on the pulpit and be missing. So he used to really like music.
And with that, you talk about let me make something like this. People used to say the senator is inconsistent, and let's drive back to his instinct of telling him something to do. If politicians go to him and say, "Oh, support me and do this and do that," they will sit down and discuss fine. But then, if Senator Johnson leaves from there and go sit down, team, where if instant tells him that person is not the person so to go with, so don't go with that person. I have him just play on you that kind of way. He will not be giving you the full attention on. So people will say, "But they almost inconsistent." So these are some of the inconsistent things they used to say. "Oh, this man is inconsistent like that." As long as his instinct tells him, go to this side, when he goes there, he'll become a victorious. If he instant tell him not to go to this side, he will not go there. You will just play with it, at the end of the day, just leave it as it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the kind of person he was.
That's the kind of a person.
Who is his junior boy? Who do all of you know is his junior? Like this is Senator Johnson's junior.
I think
Terran.
there's some list of his children. I think 12 children.
Okay.
And in that children, Senator Johnson used to love almost all of his. He used to love all his children.
Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah,
just talking
so
about his junior boy.
He
You
didn't
know.
really give a title to a particular child since we started
No, what I
relating.
mean, his first boy child.
Okay, first boy, I think it's Terrence Johnson.
Yeah, Terran.
All right, Terrence.
Yeah.
Like Terran, who used to be in the office, administrative assistant.
Okay.
Yeah,
Terrence.
so yeah.
Okay. Is he popular among you as Senator Johnson's child?
He's a good brother. He was.
He's still around.
Yeah, he's still
Yeah,
around.
around.
So, but he's a senator's son, and he's known to be the senator's son.
Now, what's that one thing that you miss and will remember the senator for?
The senator, as per our relationship, I would miss that father and son relationship that I used to have with him, because I see that even my father and myself don't have that intimacy compared to he and myself. So I used to call him anytime. I used to This is somebody who will call you 3 o'clock in the morning and tell you this, and you'll lecture for almost 1 hour. You'll have the good time, and that I see maybe the next leaders of or the incoming leader of Neymar or the incoming leader after him, we may not have that relationship with that person like we have with Senator Johnson. So I miss that relationship. I miss every bit of the time we spent together.
And
Darren?
yeah, I used to go to the main house without protocol. Whether in the night, whether in the day, whether rainfall, sunshine, however you may think about, I march in the house like I'm entering in my own house. Nobody asks me a question. And I'll go sit down in the porch, we'll sit down, we'll have some conversation. And for the past Sundays now, some days in the week, I've now received call from him, and it really play on me because Sunday when it's time to preach or when time for him to preach on the radio, he will be calling me here and there. Make sure he carry someone to. I thought we used to be having our show here to OK FM. So carry to OK FM. Hey, carry to Spoon FM. Carry to this, and he will be calling me consistently, and he'll be standing right by his radio, just to make sure that his someone play. When he play, he will call me. Come sit down, let's listen. Who will come from church, who will go to a hall to go sit down while the team play on the radio, will be sitting and listen.
I don't see it on Facebook. I don't see the thing on Facebook.
They sit in your her in the church.
He sit with her in the church.
You say you be calling?
Yeah, you call it. And I see it on Facebook. Let them hear. Yeah, it's on Facebook.
It's on Facebook. Then you can, if you even in gatherings, what you doing different thing, you have to come, you sit down, probably copy the link and send it to him and say, oh, that's the link, yeah, click on the link, you go see it. And then you know the open pay them too. So you manage someone and wait and you see it, say, yeah, I don't see it now.
Yeah.
He was a foreteller, like you guys said. Sometimes control and move by his instinct.
Yes, sure.
Did you ever sit with him any day where he said, did he say anything about death at any point?
He used to.
Yeah.
How?
He said, he used to tell us, say, gentlemen, town reach, you wake up once in the morning and heard that the senator is no more. So you pull yourself together, my children who are very close to me. You pull yourself together, and one day you'll hear that no more. Even to the point that where he was wanted to build his tomb and what have you, he put steroid that he wanted to build it, but with advice from other people, tell him no, don't do that, and he stopped it. But he wanted to build his own tomb at his way and pleasure, how he wanted it to be like. But other people advised him not to do so. He said, but there are great people around the world who have, live and then remain living and then dig their own grave, build their tomb and what have you. So why can't be the first person in Liberia to do so? And people advised him not to do so.
I think the journalist, when I was on my way here, the journalist, I think frankly, he probably may not have that conversation with the senator, so he kind of a little bit sly. But Senator Johnson, every time used to tell us, especially when he call you and you maybe explain your own challenge to him, because when I took the job new day, that was the conversation between me, he and myself frequently. You lecture, you ask you the basic question, how the job, how this other one, when you explain your own challenges to him and get to understand probably the challenge, the success story is more than the challenge. When I told him that maybe the labor ministry revenue has grown better than it was before, he was so happy, and then thank you, he bless you, and then going onward, that we have some conversation about this, his where he wants. When you talk about you put yourself together, all those things. So the other side of the where he wants to be buried, that was something that when we sit down together, sometimes when the lecture go deeper, you always say that thing. You always when to Nima, you post steer to that particular place. He attempted building it, but his wife, and other people advised that he should not continue. And how he talk about that particular location was somewhere he post steer that this is maybe my own error, just in case this happened to me. He used to talk about it.
And one of the things when you are being supported by a big person, and you want to be moving, they say, yeah, I'm the man's son, and I can do any other thing, nothing will come from inside. He will advise you and say, no, don't do so.
He doesn't.
Yeah. he don't like it.
Really?
Yeah.
He didn't used to like people using his name
to
cause trouble.
To cause trouble. Not at all.
But since the wartime, I don't know when did you hear that Senator Johnson had a case in police station?
Yeah.
Senator Johnson never used to let the court issue, police issue. No. To the extent that he would want all the people who are following him, if you want to be my friend, you should I was say follow the law, follow the rule of law. So there'll be no time you'll be in jail for the wrong reason and you expect me to call there. I will not do it.
And let me give you one story between him and myself one time. At the time, I now registered my car. I was driving. Then 3 police officers apprehended me right to Vamoma. I said, but you know who am I? I tried to show my ID card, and the judge said, no, we can't do anything. So I took the phone. I called the senator. I said, but Senator, 2 police officers here, they took my car. They said they cannot register. So, is this the kind of thing you call me first to say, police, park your car, go and register it, excuse me, then car. You off a foot for my he off a foot for my ear. So then I went to him in the evening and said, he told me, say, go and register the car. I think he gave me some money and said, go register the car. I don't want to be sitting down somewhere and what have you call me on funny thing, and don't do so. You all be straight with the law.
Do you guys know whether he still got some of his siblings around, his biological brother, his sister?
Yeah, we know some of them.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Antimatter, all of them, Peter, they are all to the house as we speak right now. One of
his Gion actually passed. His Gion, Prince Johnson Gion actually passed. The guy you guys talking about probably is the second. His Gion actually passed. Okay, the guys are eulogizing Senator Prince Johnson. Now, when is the body leaving town?
The ballet, yesterday the book of condolence opened and it continues today. I think by now the ballet will be removed from the Samuel Stracker Funeral Home, taken to the Capitol building where the formality will be played through state activity. From there this evening, the ballet will go to the Christ Chapel of Faith church where he used to be preaching for another week keeping in our Pennsville area. Tomorrow morning, we'll drive through Kakata, Banga, and then enter in Nimba where the ballot will be received there. And after that, we'll go to Santa Claus for some time before driving to Camp. People from Loguato, people from Vaengle, people from Butuo, people from the rest of the places in District 4 and 5 or 3 within our area will come for another keeping. Right after that, we'll go to Ban and drive to Ban. People from his hometown, York, Goman Play, District 5, all of the places over there will also come there for activity, wakekeeping, and also tribute payment. Then we'll drive to Saclay Pier, and people from Tapeta, Zan, and the rest of the place within that region will also come to Saclay Pier, where the tribute will be paid by traditional people and citizens of Nemba as well. Then on a Friday evening, we'll come to Ganta, hopefully, depends how activity is going to be like. Then the ball will be allowed to all late to the football stadium in Ganta for another wolf keeping and what have you. From there, in the morning on a Saturday, the ball will be taken to the Yasimbe Yadima Hall at his university, while the state funeral or if the real funeral will be held before he be laid to rest to the designated area that has already been built, and it's gonna be a recreation center. Gonna take about 200 plus persons where you'll be having conferences and what have you, and just as it is, the whole itinerary is like.
Okay, gentlemen, I'd like to say thank you for coming, and as you mourn your fallen father and your hero, we join the rest of Liberia to say our condolences to the MDR, the people of Nimba, and by extension to all of us as Liberians. Your final messages before you leave, Darius?
Well, my final message to every Liberians and every Nimban is that though we are not happy for his death, but let's use the death of the senator to reconcile everyone in this country, whoever he has hurt, someone who continue to feel by us, and that Johnson do to me, pass the oil pass. So let's use his death to reconcile ourselves, reconcile the Liberian people, and reconcile, especially in our home, the Gil, the Manon, the Bassa, the Kran, the Mandingo, all of us in Nemba. Let us use this senator death to at least reconcile ourselves and put our differences aside and move our country forward.
Raphael?
Yeah, I think my brother has already said everything, but we'd like to encourage the leaders of NEMA that the death of Senator Johnson, as they have started coming together through this period, Let them continue on that footstep. I think people will see our strength if we stand together. Like the recent activities in Nima with the efforts of the superintendent, the efforts of the vice president. I'd like to appreciate him for everything he keep doing through the period. And the efforts of all other leaders of Nima, all other small young people who are doing their best to ensure that our father be given a befitting burial. Beyond this burial, let us continue to unite, because in unity our strength will show. And as we have always been doing it, let not the death of Senator Johnson serve as a tool for separation again, because Senator Johnson will be happy in his grave when he sees that the county, some of the things he dreamed of, the Nima unity he used to always preach. If he sees that it stands, he will be very happy in his grave. But if we disappoint him by bringing division in the county, he will feel very bad in his grave, and that might cause other consequences for the county. So let us continue to unite and unify ourselves and build good relationship as Nimbayans to ensure that our county and our country can move forward. I want to thank all Liberians who are in sympathy with us throughout the period. Senator Johnson was not just limited to Liberia. For the evidence that he helped and supported other two presidents who became leaders of Liberia, it shows that he was a national treasure. So let's celebrate his legacy and let's ensure that things that he did on earth while he was alive be supported by each and every one of us. Thank you.
Okay, gentlemen, thanks for coming. Two of Senator Johnson's many political sons, they've been here, and we've been talking about the senator, the legacy, the memory, and all these kinds of things. Gentlemen, thank you for coming. We're taking a break. When we come back, Liberia's Public Works Minister, Lafayette Giddings, will be here shortly. Who do you recognize as Speaker of the House of Representatives?
I recognize whosoever the president of this country recognized as the speaker.
Who is the president?
Whosoever, you may be aware of the person.
I'm not there. I'm not in the
So,
house.
whosoever the government recognized as the speaker, I'm there to do my work, and I still remain firm with the issue of the rule of law. Despite I'm there to work along with whosoever I'm working with. But remember, president will live on.
Do you still recognize Funanti Kofa as Speaker of the House of Representatives?
If Funanti Kofa was the Speaker of the House of Representatives, then he should have been in conformity with the President of the Republic of Liberia. But he's not there.
So if in your words, he is not in conformity, who do you recognize as the Speaker?
The one who the President recognized.
Who is he?
Clarence.
You know all your colleagues by name, small. I mean, why are you?
Clarence.
Why are you not bold?
I have called his name over and over again.
The people of District 3, I think they know you to be a bold guy.
Yeah, but they listen to me calling the name. Why do you want me to drag the name over and over again?
Can you please call? Let me hear it.
Who is the Speaker? The President Speaker with the 43 member of the House.
You tell
Richard
us.
Coon.
Okay.
Richard Coon is the Speaker now.
And with the bloc that is working in this country, and with the bloc that is making determination as to where the country go budgetarily, and with the growth that is now being recognized internationally. That's where I am.
Hele Bahu as a Speaker.
Hele Bahu is in Ghana.
Who is he?
And you tell me.
You know him.
Well, you do too.
He is your colleague.
All then are my colleagues.
The two presidents are in Ghana.
Funanti
Kofa is in Ghana. Richard Coon is in Ghana. Whom are you referring to?
Well, today I'm not seeing communication from the Speaker of the Ghanaian Parliament, okay, to attend the conference, to attend the event.
What does that mean?
We gotta move forward. This country has to move forward.
We're moving forward. We're moving forward. The reason why I call you, because I didn't want to speculate on that communication. So I call Honorable Thomas Romeo Quia, and he is speaking. But he just needed to be as clear as possible so we can move forward. Whom are you?
So because Clarence, I have not seen the communication that invited Speaker Kopa. I have not seen it. I had no idea at some point in time that he was to go to Ghana. He was invited. I didn't see that communication, so I can't speak to its authenticity. But I did saw a communication from the Speaker of the Ghanaian Parliament inviting Richard Coon and others. I did see that.
So I'm speaking to what I saw. I guess with what I didn't see.
But in that communication, the Ghanaian Parliament Speaker is referring to Rachel Kuhn as the Right Honorable Speaker. Do you agree with the Ghanaian Parliament Speaker that Rachel Kuhn is your speaker?
I was not part of the decision that generated that invitation.
So who is the speaker?
So get me right. I just said that then I didn't have the occasion of saying.
Good morning. Welcome to OKFM and welcome to the Morning Rush.
Thanks so much, Clarence. It's really fun to be here and great to be here. I have to say, at the risk of sounding like a fanboy, I do listen to your show most mornings on my way to work.
You do? Okay. Well, we are here. We have Liberia's Minister of Public Works, Lafayette Giddings, is here as our guest on the OK Morning Rush. I think this is the first interview with him this year. We'll talk about roads. I'll ask a lot of questions. And then I'll also afford you the opportunity to ask the Minister of Public Works a lot of questions. Minister Giddings, I'd like to say Happy New Year. It's good to always have you. Good morning and thanks for coming.
Happy New Year to you too, Clarence. Good to see you. Yes, this is the first interview since we got into the new year. Happy to be here. A lot to do. We are in the dry season, so we have to, maximize the time we have.
Say that again. A lot to do.
A lot to do.
You think so?
Yeah, we have a lot to do.
How is the ministry, by the way?
I think the ministry is excellently well. We are doing okay. We've organized all the things we need to organize to get done. Good for us, the budget has been passed as far as I know, and we are in the procurement process now to get our procurement plan out to the PPCC and to begin to roll out the works. In fact, we started doing some work already from the last budget year. So we are in the dry season, like I said, and I think we are excited about the dry season. You can start to see the fruits of what we're doing now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want us to go straight because I know we have a lot of things to talk about. So the public will benefit. So I'm not going to drill anything. I'm not going to pass around yet. I've structured the interaction in a way that will focus on specific issues.
Sure.
For now, I want you, Minister, to talk a little bit, provide a little bit of summary of the Ministry of Public Works General Infrastructure Plan for 2025.
Cool.
I'll just sit and listen to you. What's the general? Already you said it rightly. A lot to do in the dry season. What's the general infrastructure plan you've got for this year?
So the Ministry of Public Works focuses on construction that looks at horizontal, that is doing road works, and of course vertical construction, that is buildings and so forth. And so our focus, of course, majority will be on roads. We're doing some with the construction, especially providing permits and ensuring that people build to the standard that's required. Of course, we have some limitation in terms of supervision. I hope we're going to get the kind of logistics required to do so that we're able to follow up on the plans that we approve for construction in the different communities across the country. And so we should be able to deal with that limitation and trying to get that now. We work with the road fund to see how we can get some logistics for our zoning team to be able to follow up on the construction, because we approve permits for construction in the different communities, whether it's going to be a 1-story, 2, 3-story building, 4, 5-story building, we approve that. And if you do not get approval and you're constructing, then of course we have to stop you from constructing, because we have to approve every construction. That's what the law says. The Ministry of Public has to do so. So if you construct without our authorization, we stop you. And if that construction does not meet the standard required, then we either going to tear it down like we've done for some construction, or we stop you, bring you to the table and see how we can help you fix it. And then of course you get a fine for doing that. So we're doing some of that. We're also focusing on zoning. Now, so you look in the communities, you see our missions are in the different communities doing demolition. We've done a complete survey of some of the communities where people have constructed on the alley, for example, block the alley. We want to create accessibility. The president is very excited about that project, that we have to open up the cities. Open up the cities, and not just Monroe, for other cities. We're also beginning to talk to the resident engineers and work with the city mayors in the different counties to see how we do that, because laying up our city is important first before we begin to do paving major corridors or major roads within the city limit. So we are doing a lot of that. We're opening up alleys in different communities. The community, the people have gotten so um, confident in what we are doing now that people write letters. I receive letters almost every day inviting out into the different communities where they realize people have blocked the alley with a fence. People have brought their houses into the alley. People have brought their structure overall in the alley and feel, the other people in the back should not have access. We've seen that, and we're beginning to do solve it, because one of the things we do is send our team out there first to be able to investigate. We ask you to bring your Ds. So all of those who will be within that limit and they have Ds, you bring your D, and our team will investigate the D to make sure um, whoever on the alley is established. We have a quasi judicial process at the Ministry of Public Works. Our legal people and the zoning people responsible for that. You are called into a meeting, and we ask different questions about your D and why you are there. And we get to the point where we make you to know you're in the alley. And we'll finally complete that investigation and come over a ruling. We call you and we serve you that notice that you are in the alley, and we give you time to relocate. Now, if you do not relocate within the specified period, then we go for demolition, because we have to do the demolition. There's nothing that can stop that, and that has been happening. And let me say this also: there will be no sacred cows. I know there are incidents where people think because maybe they are working in the government or they are this person with this status in society, and so because of that they can stop the Ministry of Public Works work from doing what it ought to do. It's not going to happen. Anybody who is constructing without the permit of the Ministry of Public Works, especially in places that it shouldn't be constructing, you will not construct it. We stop you from doing that. It go that I'm working with the National Police. We have a police contingent, I would say, at the Ministry of Public Works. And if we need additional police, where we go to do demolition and there will be some hostility, we'll bring in the ERU or whatever to make sure we enforce the demolition. No one going to stop the demolition, especially if it's established that you are in the alley. There are people who choose to make their yard big, so they bring their fence in the alley. The next person date, or the next person does, and then you realize you only have one way into the community when you fight. It should be a 20-foot or 25-feet alley. It's not going to continue. The president has given us his blessing, and I said to him once that, Mr. President, I know you will not call me. And if you will not call me to say stop, nobody else will call me, because we are intending to do this. We are committed to this. So that exercise is going well. In fact, I know by today, tomorrow, there will be our team out there. We've identified places where we'll be opening new roads that were there, but they were being blocked. So there are a lot being done. And once we do that, it makes sense to be able to create the kind of zoning that we're looking for. Again, we have just submitted to the legislature a new law, a new zoning law that is very elaborate and has a lot of elements as compared to the old zoning law. I hope we can get that passed, because it looks at all of the issue of what kind of construction can take place in what area and all of that. It's very elaborate, and we want to ask the legislature to begin to look at that. Both houses, we've already submitted that to them. So that is that on zoning and on, of course, vertical construction. Roadworks, of course, which is the bigger component of what we do. We have a lot to do, and I will say this. And the dry season is here. I want to start first with the primary roads. We are doing good. We had yesterday the vice presidents in town for the World Bank, Usman Daikana. He's here to support what we've been doing. We have what you call the Liberia Reconstruction Trust Fund, but now it transformed into the Liberia Development Trust Fund. We had a meeting yesterday with the Ministry of Finance to just look at the portfolio that the bank is supporting, and also with the help of other partners like the British, the Germans, the Swedish, of course the African Development Bank are a big part of that, and all the other partners that support the work that we do in the road sector. So we have the Liberia Development Trust Fund, and that focuses on raising resources for road investment and energy, not just infrastructure overall. So energy project, road projects, water and sanitation. In fact, yesterday we were focusing also and looking at breaking into mainstream water and sanitation for the work that is been done by my colleague Mo Ali, to begin to ensure that we have more water in our different community and look at sanitation issue. But road is a big component of that. And I said to the president, vice president yesterday, we were grateful as a country for what has been done. And they funded the project from ERW Junction all the way to the Guinea border. That's Liberam. They funded that project. And they are now funding the project for Gantire together with the government up to Zreju. That is Seacrem 1, 2, and then Retrap 1, 2. And we have funding secure for the entire project up to Zreju. I always talk about
You
that.
have the funding.
Yes, yes. And we already started doing pavement from Ganta to Tapeta. If you go on that corridor, you see
We'll come to the different roads and
so-
where they are at the moment, but I just wanted the general infrastructure plan.
So that's it. So we're going to focus on that up to Zreju, and also again from Zreju to Kilibo, because we've already paved, of course, from Fishtown all the way, from Maryland all the way to Kilibo. We'll focus on that. So we have funding. We only have one financing agreement to get to through the legislature. That is one from the OPEC to support that corridor, funded by the African Development Bank and OPEC. So funding to go up to Maryland is secure. Big works. Hopefully by this dry season, the entire corridor will be occupied. But the first session we started with Tapeta to Toolstown will be occupied very soon. Also from the southeast, we got the Iniesta Bank supporting the corridor up to Greenville. That's about 96 kilometers to begin the coastal highway. Good. We also, from the Buchanan side, we're doing the feasibility studies now to do the design up to Greenville. The first session is from Buchanan to Sester Junction. So a lot of stuff being done for works. We have a private firm that's looking to finance the construction from Simple Bridge, I would say now, because we got a contractor working between Freeport and Simple Bridge up to Bullwater side to Clay. We are looking at that as a concession. They're proposing a BOT. Of course, that has to go through our screening with the Ministry of Finance and the IMCC for investment. So there's a lot for roads that we have over the next 4 or 5 years. Most of the corridors, there will be serious work taking place in these corridors. Banga to Salaye will be restarting very soon. We've already completed 86 kilometers of 86% of the road. There's a balance of 14 kilometers to be done. We'll get started, and once we end that, we are going to open conversation with the ARA Consortium to go up to Vonjima. We are doing the studies now from Vonjima to Foya Minikoma. That project will be financed hopefully by the African Development Bank because they are financing the studies, and our intent is to start from the Minikoma side backwards to Vonjima. So almost everywhere in terms of major corridor will be touched by this government. And I hear people talk about the last 1 year, the government has done nothing, the government has failed. We've been trying to fix the system. We met a system that was broken. We met some of these agreements not functioning properly. We met some projects just stopped for 7-8 months, now working. The Banga Saleh project will get started. The Sonic Wooded to look at the project started. We met it on, but it stopped because of some issue. We're trying to restart that. So there's several projects that we're getting restarted.
Now,
I think we are doing good.
Okay.
This year is going to be a year of unfolding most of the project.
Okay, so I know there were some road maintenance contracts that you signed as part of the president's 100-day delivery. We'll come there. We'll talk about that. But I want us to be practical about some of the road things. So the old man sitting in Douala the money will say, "Oh, I heard that from the minister." But before we go there, minister, for me the house here. Let me just be deliberate, boy. We tired hearing about the overhead bridge team, man. When will we practically see you doing the overhead bridge here?
Well, you see, the overhead bridge is going to get started. We got last demolition to do. We gave people notice. There's some other additional properties that we marked, and you have to give them time to move. So we gave them notice. I'm hoping that we can get that completed, to pay them, and then we get them get the properties demolished hopefully before the end of the month. The budget just got passed. We have some money that was supposed to be paid also on additional property that we identified. We also have some utilities line within the corridor. So we've been working with Sercom, the different utility companies, Liptelco, we're working with LEC and all of that to remove those lines. There's cost, so they'll be doing the survey to come back to us with the cost, so we can work together to see how we can relocate them, shift them into the corridor that it should be, because the site has to be 100% clear out before the contractor can start any work. But that project is definitely going to start.
You think we'll start anything this year?
Yes. Yes.
You think so?
We're focusing on February next month to get started. If we don't start by the end of February, we start in March. But we're starting this year.
Our eyeball will
the
see
funding.
that bridge,
Physical
that thing
work.
starting,
Yes.
physical work.
The company is here already. The China Road Bridge Corporation is here already, a big company, right? The only thing they're waiting for is for us. In fact, I had a call from Beijing on that they're waiting for the site to be turned over. That's what they want. Once the site is turned over, the company will start. In fact, they have started bringing in some of the supplies. We've spoke with the Ministry of Youth and Sport. Right before the SKD, they've agreed to give us where the police, the army contingents to be, will be the campsite for now for the company. So we're doing the preparations for that. We've also identified a place for sport. That is where they're going to put the debris when they're doing the work. So it's definitely going to start because the issue is set. The Chinese government has committed $33 million. It's not
$33 million.
Yes.
The
for
overhead
project.
bridge from Boulevard
Yes.
Junction and the one from Ministerial Complex.
Exactly, both of them together. So the project going to start. It's going to start this year. Let me just say that. It's going to
Okay.
start this year.
Now, let me practical now. Now, the quota you can call lateral, right?
No,
Whatever.
Asphalt.
Asphalt. The asphalt pavement from Ganta. Where is it now? When is it going to reach Tapeta? When is it going to pick up from Tapeta? When is it going to reach now from Ganta, Saclepier, and then when is it going to reach Tapeta? If you want to attach time to it, let's be practical here.
So we've done 19 kilometers already from Ganta. From Ganta to Saclepier is 39 kilometers. We've done 19 already. So there's about of 20. That project stopped because of non-payment by the last government. We've just reworked it because they were owing their $4 million, and we took over. The time was too short. We did not have that money to just put in one project because we're trying to focus on the 100 days to be able to intervene in some corridors. So we actually we didn't see it, and it haunted us because most of the pictures that have been used on Facebook to criticize the 100 day was in that corridor. There's a section where they left their crushed rock or aggregates powder on one side, and it's a very long section. It's maybe in that one. It should be about just about 500 meters or something like that. And it's very bad. That section, that particular section, was being used to speak about the 100 days. That is so bad because it was within that corridor that we did not do any work, and the contractor had demobilized. So the project going to start. We have in the budget good amount to pay the contractor the debt that we owe them, and then to also advance additional funding to them. So once that project starts, our intent is to make sure we are able to, even if it's just buying a course, to do about 10 kilometers towards Saclepier. And the balance 10 kilometers, we have it prepared properly to be able to withstand the next rainy season. That's what we do. So that project will get started. We have the funding already in the budget for it. So we'll do additional 10 kilometers to add to the 19. Only buying a course, that is one layer. And then hopefully we can prepare the balance 10 kilometer into into Saclepier, because from Saclepier to Tapeta, that project is fast moving. That project could end by August.
You put it quota now?
Yes.
Oh, from Saclepier to Tapeta?
Exactly.
You understand putting quota?
Yes, we've done almost close to 20 kilometers. Yes, and we done the just binder course. We even done.
What is the binder course?
The first layer.
Okay.
That is to bind the aggregate when it's prime, and then it's bind it, which you allow to ride like now the RIA from ERW junction further towards the R2. That whole section is binder course now is one layer. Then you put the wearing course, which is second layer. So the binder course is been done. There's a section where we've done wearing course already, and we will start to mark the road. So, but you have not been up there, Clarence. You need to go.
Yeah,
Drive from Tapeta.
I've not been.
From Saclepier to Tapeta, you'll be
I've not
surprised to see what has been done, and it's moving very fast. The whole project is 61 kilometers. That could be completed.
61. Saclepier Tapeta.
That could be completed hopefully by August.
This year.
By the end of the year, yes, complete. So,
Now-
so we're trying now to make sure we can cover up with the first section, which is 39. The 39 was being paid 100% by the government, but there's a conversation with the bank to see how we can step into to roll out more financing so that both projects get completed together, so that the 100 kilometer from Kanta straight to Tapeta gets completed in time.
So we're saying hopefully by November, December
Yes.
this year,
Yes.
we'll drive from Monrovia straight Tapeta.
You could do that. You could do that.
Okay. Now let's be practical again. The road from San Nicole to Loguatuo. Where are we now? Have you picked up anything? Where did the last government stop the quota? Where are we with
Well,
it?
we've been working. It's up to be up to 83% complete. There's a small
Probably maybe you
section
don't know
left.
that terrain well. I would have asked you,
No,
has it entered complete? Is the quota incomplete?
I won't say that. I won't say that because I'm not too sure where that is.
Yeah,
Is Campton closer to the border? Is it closer to look at?
Not really. It's like the central point.
It should be.
It is incomplete. You take the road to go on the other
It
side.
should be incomplete by now because we done 83%. That means we're almost done.
Okay.
We got a bridge to deal with and then to get to the border. But this is the situation with that project. We'll be talking to the Minister of Finance about that. We've had two funders that have paid on the project. One funder remaining the EMB. There was some issue with the project. Okay, this accusation by a local NGO, and I can say this that our local NGOs have to try, to be fair to the country, because sometimes our international funders that fund these projects, they're concerned about so many things. There's some social issue, social exploitation, all of that. So if they realize that the contractor, for example, or there's something of such happening, even just an accusation in the corridor, sometimes the project disbursement gets suspended. So the project disbursement was suspended because there was this accusation that the contractor or people who were working for the contractor were involved with little girls and women, sexual exploitation, all that. And the bank and others who fund this project, the multilaterals, take that component very seriously. So there was a freeze on disbursement. So the African Development Bank came and did the studies on that, and they realized it was not true, which was published by the local NGO. The EU came and did that. They realized there was no veracity about that. The ERB have not done that yet. They just believe it happened, and they're holding off, not looking at the report done by the two funder, and it's not going to be good for us because the project could deteriorate. So I've been having the conversation with them that they have to consider that we've invested into the project, and the last funding is from the ERB. Should be anywhere around $50 million to do. So if they cannot, because of what they believe happened, then the government has to take responsibility. And I said to the Minister of Finance, we have to try. We can't allow the project to deteriorate, because if the project doesn't get in and goes into the next rainy season, gradually we could start to have some deterioration, because there are certain sections that just binder coast is not fully covered yet, and if the drainage system is not done properly, the base can start to wear away, and that can affect the project. So that is where that project is. But we have to take some responsibility. We're still talking with our partners, the ERB. They have not left the table completely yet. But I just said to the minister, we have to find alternative just in case they are not comfortable to continue to fund the project. But it will end. And going to the border to look at the border, we're going to build a border post on our side. We asked the foreign government, they wanted it on their side, but they could not find the space at the time and the funding. So they came to us and thought that we would not. So I said, we take it. So we took it, and we've already secured the funding to pay for RAP along there. So the border post will be built on our side.
On the Liberian side?
On the Liberian side, yes.
That's
to
good.
complete the project.
To be used by the both
countries. Exactly.
All right.
That's
Now,
what it is.
let's be practical. This year, do we have any intention to make any intervention through pavement from Monrovia to Bopolo and from Robertsport Junction into Robertsport?
So Monrovia to Bopolu, pavement this year, no. We have a contractor on that. It's about the 100-day corridor. We have two contractors there that are doing continuous work. So the road is going to be pliable throughout the range. That's what we do. There is a situation with a bridge there that we've agreed to, a small bridge to construct within that corridor. But there won't be pavement, not yet. Of course, we have had some express interest by private financiers to pave it. We're hoping that they can come forth with the studies. Most of them we did MOU, and they were supposed to do feasibility studies on their own. They pay the cost for it. So once they come back to us with that, then we know they're serious, and we'll begin to hold conversation about that. Medina Robertsport is going to start. I think it's already should be starting. The contractor has mobilized already on that corridor. We're going to pave the first 15 kilometers. I hope we can do a lot before the rain comes. It's about 45. But we've already started Medina Robertsport, and disbursement has been made to the contractor already. I'm excited about that road also because of the touristic nature that it has. If we pave Medina to Robertsport, it's going to attract a lot of tourism.
So this year you will only be able to
we'll focus on the first 15. I
You say
hope
it's
we
what?
can complete 45.
45.
So once we
15,
do
then
15,
10.
we'll do 15, yes. Then we'll do
15,
that.
15, 15.
Yes, but we're working with the contractor. The contractor is looking to see how they can find additional funding to pre-finance in addition to what we've done. If that comes through, then we have to get a kind of concession working with the contractor to complete the entire pavement of that corridor.
Are we okay with the Robert Field Road now?
Well, the Ralphie rule is ongoing. Where we are now is we're supposed to be doing a technical audit on the project to see how far we go in terms of funds received and what has been done. I was speaking with the Minister of Finance about that. That is where we are. But the contractor is still continuing the work. The supervision is being done, of course, by the consultant and the Ministry of Public Works (PIU). I know there were some abnormalities that we've corrected along the way, and the project is on track now, as far as I know. So all of what is required is being done. We are waiting for the preparation process. It's been done for the bridge, because there's one bridge on our road, which is the Jock Bridge. We're going to build 2 new bridges on that road because of the folding. The design of the bridge has been reviewed by our team. We are waiting to finalize the issue of a subcontractor building the bridge, which we agreed to with East International, and that will happen. So that project is fast advanced, and once we do the technical audit to look at actually works put in and funding received, that's been financed by of course, the loan taken from the EIB and the African Bank, and of course the government pays some funding. So we're trying to sort that out, and we know exactly where it is in terms of actual works done.
So that road has actually the quota, the pavement is beyond complete. Somebody just sent me text.
Okay,
The person familiar with the terrain
Exactly.
say it's beyond complete.
Exactly.
Now
So-
let's come to these 100-day deliverables. You signed a lot of contracts for road maintenance. One of the president's 100-day deliverables. Are we still on it? Are you still on it to ensure the rainy season is not going to be bad again?
Exactly. We're going to do everything we can to make sure. Like I said the other day, we're reviewing contractors in different corridors in terms of the performance over the last rainy season, where we are now, and the level of work they are doing. If we get to the point where we realize a contractor is not at the level that we expect them to be now, we're going to terminate the contract, find other ways to do that. But however, some contractors are now working in these corridors, because don't forget, like I said, the project was for 2 years. About 10 of the contract for 2 years, so up to 2026 next year, March, before they're gonna end. So they're obligated to do some work. But one of the things we're trying to do is to see how we can create some stabilization for some critical sections, some of the sections that have been historically occurring. Every year you go around, that particular section remains like that. So we're trying to find a new way to deal with that. And so using stabilization, you have some technology additive that is mixed with the soil to harden it, turn it like concrete, for example, and put good drainage system within that particular section. That's what we're working with the contractors now and the subcontractor to be able to do. We're hopeful that we can get that done before the rain set in. But works are ongoing in this corridor. And I can say that if we are unable to make sure those corridors perform better than the way they performed last year, then I don't think it's going to be good for us. But we are on it, and my commitment is to do so. The corridor from Zurich to Karikin is performing perfectly. We want the corridor now from Tapeta to Zurich to perform the same way. The work now on Salaye Vonjima, you can take 3 hours from Vonjima now to Banga. Yes, it's the dry, but we want that to continue through the rain. So the level of work that should be done in terms of drainage system, making sure the drainage systems are done properly, making sure turnout points are done, proper clearings, the road is comb properly, crowned properly, I would say, to make sure the water doesn't sit on. The drainage systems are working. We have actual turnout points where the water leave the road completely and not just sit in the corner and come back on the road, for example. All of that is being done to be able to deal with that corridor. If you go to Buchanan now, from Buchanan to Sasta Junction, ITL.
That's where I'll come in. Anything
Works
practical
have been
this
done.
year
Yes.
on the Buchanan Sound Road and into River?
Where it's just the 100 days intervention that will be taking place. But what happened on that road, that there's a feasibility study that's been done now. We paying for that as a government. It's a precondition for the African Development Bank first commitment to the coastal highway from Buchanan to Sesta Junction. So the studies is on. It's going to be completed hopefully by next month. Once that's submitted to the board, we hope we can get some kind of approval. And I'm sure in the next 1.5, 2 years, we will have some physical work on that corridor to begin the coastal highway to connect with the one that's starting from the Bagley side coming up to Greenfield. But the other works that we'll be doing, new corridors that we'll be entering into, the Greenville to Boachicken corridor, we'll be doing some work on that. We'll be doing some work also on some of the corridors, and there's a corridor in the River G. I just can pick up the name of that corridor quickly. But it connects to Grand Coup. It's about 65 kilometers. We'll be making some intervention on that corridor. We're also doing some new roads around Monrovia. We are not connecting, and I'll let you talk about that quickly. We are not connecting.
We're coming to Moravia very shortly. Probably we'll end Moravia before we can take
very
it
well.
Yeah.
So that is what we're doing on that side. The Plebo to Bagley corridor is still working. We have a section from where Golden Verilium trucks move to Plebo. It's not too good. We're going to have some conversation with Golden Verilium, because one of the things that's happening is that Golden Verilium is moving palm from within her concession area. She was supposed to do her mill in her concession area, but she and MOPP got together and did that mill in MOPP area. So they have to move their palm into MOPP area and to Plebo for milling. That caused problem for us. The actual load on the road is terrible, especially during the rains. And they have almost 18 to 20 trucks every day on that road moving the palm. It's difficult to keep the road stable as it ought to be. So even what we're trying to do is that during the rainy season, we have to put in place a policy that look at the axle load on the corridors. If you see some of the trucks during the rain that come with plank and cement, 24 tire trucks in those corridors, the moment one of the tires just gets stuck a little bit because they don't have four-wheel drive, the next thing they do is get down with shovel and start to dig up the road. So most of the road does not just spoil because of the rain. The road is spoiled by the kind of axle load that's on it. And when these trucks slip a little bit into the ditch, to get out of the ditch, they start to dig with shovel and they destroy the road.
Minister,
we're trying to put in place some kind of policy during the rain.
That is bringing me to my next question before we come to Moravia. Do we have a road policy for the country? If we don't have, do you think it is a necessity? Do we need to develop? Other countries have road policy. It tells you what kind of cars you plan the road with, what tonnage and all the kind of things. Do we have a road policy?
We have an actual load control. There's a law already. Okay, the Ministry of Transport is working on that because the Ministry of Transport is responsible to execute the actual load control law. So Ministry of Transport now is beginning to install. They put in place already. I think there's some procurement for way beaches, working with a company that we need to finalize at the level of the board to have some way stations at certain sections of the roads. But
way stations,
okay. Yeah, especially the roads that are paved already. Okay, the road that are dirt road where maybe you want to deal with the ones that are paved already to protect them as compared to the ones that are not paved. But we have an actual load control already, and it's in place. It's just to execute it. But to execute it, you need the infrastructure.
Is that a road policy?
It is a law.
Okay.
Yeah, the actual load control law is a law. But transport is responsible to work with us to execute that. Transport, you need infrastructure to execute that. And that's why they have to have the way station. And also, again, the way station in certain sections, in certain corridors, will be able to determine the actual load on it. And so once you exceed that, then you are asked either right there to discharge, and you are fined some of the actual load, and then you go back on the way station, make sure it's the load that's required, and then you can go ahead. So, but we have to put the infrastructure in place, and that's what the Ministry of Transport is working on. So very soon we'll have that. But in the meantime, on the gravel road, I'm just saying we'll be working with the police to make sure we enforce something that will stop some of those very heavy trucks to be on the dirt road during the rainy season. I know that even when I was growing up in Maryland County, during the rainy season, most of the logging companies that used to even face the road for us stopped moving log. Okay, because the axle load on the road at the time, they knew that if they continue to an extent, it will even cause more damage to the road. We have to think about that. So there have to be certain tonnage of truck, for example, or smaller trucks that can move on those roads during the rain instead of those 24, almost 30 tire trucks in the rain still on those corridors. It's difficult to maintain the roads in a manner.
Having said that, let's come to Moravia now before we can open the lines. What are the rules? What's going to be the interventions this year?
So, one of the things that's already happening, I want to say, all the potholes, if not all, but majority of the potholes you see everywhere, will be dealt with. We started doing some work already. We are in the procurement process that will be completed hopefully in the next 2-3 weeks or a month for the next section that will start. The whole Garnersville, the Pinsville area, all of that will be dealt with. So you won't have all the potholes you see in the corridors. We are also going to do the Driver Market Road to Johnsonville. There's a second layer that should be put on there. We're going to overlay that. The Simarca Road has been redone. The second layer has been done to overlay it properly, so that is completed. We're doing the mobile town bypass. We're doing all of those corridors, temporarily dealing with all of the potholes, and we do later on overlays, the SKD Boulevard, the SD Cooper Road, the Dupont Road, the Niso Park up in the entire corridor where you see all the potholes will be done. Central Monrovia, the whole of Central Monrovia, we are already doing Broad Street to Freeport. It's already been done. We're beginning Freeport down to Simple Bridge, which you know is already been done. We're going to do the new road from Niku Town to connect to Island Clinic. That will be a bypass, so you can just come into Island Clinic, come into Niku Town, bypass Douala Market. We've already disbursed funding to the contractor to get that project started. There's a bridge that should be built. Give that priority and start to get the project started. We are doing the Chickasaw Factory Road already. That started already. The Mamastown Community Road that comes out to VOA, that road will be done. There's a section directly opposite. It will be paved with rigid pavement. We're doing the VOA road in Broadway. That will be done. The Jatuna road we're supposed to intervene on that road. Also, the G4 road will be a road that we intervene on. And all the road I'm talking about pavement, rigid pavement. So in Monrovia, there'll be a lot of road works that you see. The New Georgia Road will be done. New Georgia, there's almost like no road on the New Georgia Road. The road has gone, the asphalt, everything gone. There's no road there. So we're going to do the New Georgia Road from the New Georgia Junction all the way into the estate, and the intent is to turn towards the school, almost 800 kilometers. 800 meters further down towards the school. We'll do that entire, so it will be close to 4 kilometers within the New Georgia community. We're coming there to do the road. We're not end this dry season, but we begin the project, and the intent is to make sure we create pliability into the estate. So like I said, Chickasaw Factory has been done already. And so all of the potholes you see, we're going to intervene in that. One more thing that we're doing, Clarence, which is part of the road safety initiatives, you see all the lights you see around the solar lines. They are done by the Ministry of Public Works. I know people think it's LEC. No, it's not LEC. It is the Ministry of Public Works. We have a road safety program that we feel putting lights along the corridors on the streets will help save lives in terms of driving. Some people drive in without lights in some of the communities. Some of the vehicles do not even have lights. So we've done that in the whole of Central Monrovia. We're going to be doing that. The second phase will be the GSA Road. We're going to do the Duper Road. We're going to do the Niso Pakopin Road. We're going to do from Barnesville Junction into Barnesville Estate. We're going to do part of
you mean this year?
Solar lights. Yes, this year.
All these roads you're talking about this year.
All we're gonna do. So you're gonna see that kind of electrification almost everywhere, and the intent is to enhance road safety. So even on the Somalia, the Japan Freeway now, there's a potholes there that we're gonna take care of. The road is still okay, but there are some sections where we have some defect, and the defect is as a result of the turning radius. Most of that is within the intersections. And that needs a lot of pressure on those sections. So we're going to do some work to be able to deal with that, and that's what we're trying now to introduce. What they did today to Freeport, to Simeco, they use concrete in most of the turning radius because of the heavy weight of those trucks, and that's sustainable. So I was talking to the engineers. Our engineers at the ministry will have a conversation. We say we need to begin to introduce in our design now, rigid pavement within the turning radius. So at every intersection where the zero turned, we need to use rigid pavement, because you know what, there's a lot of pressure on turning. Then when the car is just moving, at maybe at 2-3, for example, in degree 2-3 running regularly. But once it slow down, it has to turn. There's a lot of pressure on the asphalt. So those sections, those intersections that are turning, that you have to initiate a lot of turning radius, we have to begin to look at the design of our roads now, and that's something that we do.
Okay, Public Works Minister Lafayette Giddings is our guest this morning. Minister, I know this issue about the law policy. I know it's a law that regulates probably the weight of car and the roads. But I don't know whether that is a road policy. And I'm bringing you back to that question, because I think a road policy I'm talking about a road policy that will guide, the design, the construction, and probably management of roads across the country. A real road policy for Liberia.
So again, the issue of the design of our roads, there's standards for designing the roads. Um, the we got, so we still have some issue with trying to get our building codes. Now we've been working. We begin to hold conversation. The intent is to even do what we call there's several conferences that have been held now by the Internet Society and others, but the Ministry of Public Works will be working with the Ministry of Transport and other infrastructure agencies for to look at a national infrastructure conference this year. Hopefully by the end of the year, we'll be looking to do that, to plan that, to begin to even look at now setting real standard on our building codes, because it's not really structured properly as is, especially for vertical construction. Okay, but there's standards as to how we build our roads. Policy on, for example, protecting the roads. Like I said, when the road is built already, the standards are there to build the road. But then to protect the longevity of the road is where the axle load comes in, and it's where the maintenance broker come in. That is why I'm happy to also announce that we just got the approbation from the World Bank. When I went to the spring meeting the last time, I spoke to them, appealed to them for them to help us to do our toll regulation and policy. So the World Bank has endorsed that. We'll be having a consultant come in now to develop our toll policy, to set up toll system. And I've appealed to the bank also that within the corridors that we are currently doing, the Ganta to Suejo corridor, we have a test that of a toll system, the pilot system, and tentatively, and I will keep pushing because I went to the spring meeting last time, I pushed and I already got the confirmation that the policy will be done. I'm going back in April, I will push again to make sure we can get a pilot project to set up the toll system now in our road corridor. So that will help with driving the kind of policy system as to how we
what's the status of the
Cestos
Cestos Bridge?
So the Cestos Bridge is in bad state, but we got some solution to it. It's just going to take some time. You know, the bridge is about 420 feet long. We have the sectional 160, 80, 90, and 120. So the 120 from the Greenwich, from the Buchanan side, is what collapsed. So that 120, we already have a bridge in Zueju. From the G River, the river G River, we will build a reinforced concrete bridge on that corridor. The section should be paved. There was a bridge on it, a Billy Bridge that we de-launched is there. I've just written the spoke to the Coco River G. Then they committed for us, for the emergency now, to go and get that bridge, because it's seen 120 span and just replace the section that was damaged. So we are doing preparation now for the team.
How's it going to take?
And demobilize.
How long is it going to take again?
I'm sure it's going to. It will not take less than 2 months, because they have to go to. The bridge is already de-launched, but they have to disassemble it, and then bring it to the Cestos corridor, and then reassemble it, and then launch it. Then they have to also, dismantle the one that is damaged completely from the others that are still okay. So I can say under 2 months, we're hopeful to get the bridge up and running. It could happen before that time, but we're trying to first we need to get the funding. We're trying not to get the funding to get the team to go get that bridge from River G and then move it to the Cestos Bridge to be able to get it replaced.
Minister Giddens,
sorry for the inconvenience.
are you concerned about the increase in accidents on the Buchanan Road? Some people are attributing it to the visibility of traffic, the sounds over there on the road. They say that most of the places the sounds are not visible anymore. Are you concerned? There are too many accidents on our road. What can you do?
But I don't think accident on the road is in the night, because if you drive on the Buchanan Road in the night, it's like those who play the PlayStation, they have the games where you are directed by certain certain feature. So now we have what you call the cat house on the Buchanan Road. So if you're driving in the night and you shine your light will tell you exactly where you should be going. Just like when you see the plane, landing on the airport with all the lights along the runway. That's what you see now along the corridor in Buchanan, and that's safety feature. So in the night, it will be very difficult for anybody to have a crash on that road. I've driven there in the night before. We did the cat out from Cotton Tree straight up to Buchanan. So in the night, driving the road is even safer than driving in the day. In the day, of course, that left for you to decide when you want to overtake. And I can see, I drive on those corridors, and I see the way people drive is crazy sometimes, Clarence. Somebody is overtaking on the hill. You don't even know what a car is coming, or not you're overtaking on the hill. Somebody's overtaking the curve. I mean, people just drive recklessly too, to an extent. Most of the accidents is a result of that. And sometimes, unfortunately, you who trying to drive properly, you get caught into it. So it's not more of what the infrastructure offers in terms of the road itself, but it's the kind of attitude that people have to, and the SAP in terms of driving. That is why, and all the accidents on our road is in the day, but in the night you won't see that because the road is perfect to drive on it.
Thank you, Minister Giddings. He says the Sesto Bridge. We are talking to River G Caucus. Want to get a bridge same size. We'll put it there probably less than 2 months, but let's be safe to say 2 months.
Yeah, that's temporary.
This is the OK Morning Rush. The Minister of Public Works is here. You can pull in now with your questions. You ask, you call your name, and be direct. Let's stop beating around. So we have 5 minutes to call, and then the minister can take the rest of the 5 minutes to respond. Hello?
Yeah, good morning, Clarence.
Good morning, sir.
I'm watching on the rainbow according from Jokostown.
Okay, Washington.
Honorable Minister, you stay in public work because after you have resigned because you embarrassed the president by using 22 million on a road and you spoil that money. So you are a young man. You need to resign from our place. You see, Moali is working. You see, Amos are working, but you embarrass the party. Thank you very much.
What a man used 22 million here.
Well, you put mud on the road. The more you put on the road, you say you put read there on the road, Clarence.
But the man has said over and over even on my show that he did not use 22 million. Instead, I think the last time I talked to him, I think he said they used on 8 point something million at that time. He will respond, but I'm saying it because he spoke here before.
Yeah, coming on Clarence. In our ministry, right? And we are and all the run that the president we are doing, right? So we were expecting him to do the right thing about doing the right thing. But to put work on our road, he blown off. He not really job, so no need for him to be there. Thank you very much.
Okay, Chief. Thank you, sir. Let's go here. Hello.
Fine. Hey, Veteran Clarence Jackson. Let me say good morning to the Honorable Minister in the studio. Activist Macmillan, and I do join you from Luja, head office here in Western.
Good morning, Chief. All that thing, bossman, I beg you. Just call your name as a man. Let me all that thing prepare. A lot of people won't call. Please.
Thank you, Big Brother Jackson. Let me commend the Honorable Minister in studio for his well-written deliberation. In a short possible time, I think he is doing extremely well. However, my disappointment in the Honorable Minister has to relate to his last appearance on your show with you, when he lied in the face of the public that current Councilor Calando House is in the damaging line. Because if you check there, we can have evidence here, proving the obvious that Councilor House is in the demolition now, but they left Canano House and then they demolished all of the other people placed around him. That is injustice, and I thought we don't need such a thing. People.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you. Hello.
Yeah, Clarence, this is Tanisha, myself, journalist and a Newtown resident. So I'm concerned about the Newtown aspect of the road that the minister mentioned. But is it the one from Ponko Junction inside to Newtown, or the one that detour from Momo Town passing through the community to the police station? I want to know which part of the Newtown road. That's my concern.
Thank you, Tanisha. Hello.
Yes, good morning, Clarence, and also to that of our Honorable Minister.
Good morning.
Clarence, I want to say to the Honorable Minister, thank you so kindly for his exceptional work and his deliberation in studio there. We've been following his work, and this is why one of those guys who was in agitating that this is the kind of minister who have an understanding in engineering. We were saying no. Minister Giddings have been with the ministry for a very long time. He has an understanding. But now my concern here is the road leading to Iron Gate to Artisan, and also I think it has a link to Mangibi. what will happen to that road, because that road is very important. It's going to
What will
bring some
happen to that road? Thank you. Final caller. Hello. Good morning. Are you there? Let me get you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Clarence, good morning to Mr. Giddings.
Yeah.
My name is O'Neill Phillips, and I call you from Lower Margibi County in Mabankaba. Mr. Giddings, I listen to you very well, but this morning I call for you to please pay your attention toward this side of Margibi. This area is almost like a banner area. There's road leading from right beyond Mount Bazet, Bodnigi intersection. We have a whole lot of trucks on the road, but they have spoiled our road, and we have about 50,000 plus people moving in the new community. Our road is very depressed. We're begging you to come do some backfilling for us like you did with the area in Rossville. Please, Minister, we beg you. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Minister, let's get back to you. So let me add one question, probably you can start with. The other time I went to the Ministry of Public, I saw some machines, probably they're not in good condition. Are those machines something that you can fix for the ministry to begin to use again? And do you have, and I'm talking the one for employees benefit now. Do you have buses over there for the employees? Are you thinking about getting any?
So let me say this, and I forgot to speak about something. There's a community road project that we have. It's not going to be for pavement, but it's going to be intervening in the communities.
Okay.
We have those missions. Those missions are not they are not spoiled. Okay. They are in good shape. Okay. We just need some of them need to be serviced, and then they're running going. So we have a community road project. There's several community roads that will be intervening in. We'll be installing covers. We'll be putting in dirt, of course, doing some compassion, doing drainage system, and we'll be putting some aggregates, that is crush rock, on those. We'll not pave it, but we'll make it pliable. We're waiting for the Ministry of Finance to go ahead and do the needful so that we can begin the community road project. So yes, we'll start doing that. On the employee thing, of course, hopefully this budget year we have buses for our employees. We have 2 smaller ones. We're not able to get any last year because we're given the funding that was just so small as the Ministry of Public Works. I won't say that the amount, but we're not able to procure the buses. But we're definitely going to get that this year. Okay. So there's a whole 22. The other man we had 22 million thing about that. I haven't responded to that because after I responded to it, we didn't spend any 22 million. It was 8.9 million that we spent. In fact, today I'm not even gone. More than 10 million should be anywhere around there, because once the contractor work and complete the work, we'll definitely go ahead and pay them. So that's it. That fellow, he has his own objective. Let him keep it with himself. There was a conversation about Kalando property. That property is not in where we consider as the road. Because if it's there, we got to break it down. And we break it down, we got to pay it. That's plenty of money to pay for it, the whole building. Because you can
plenty of money to pay for it, or it's not there, or because
no, it's
the money
not. I'm just saying it's not there in terms of what the limit is, because we have the limit. Okay. And so we cut what we're supposed to cut is the fence. You saw that it cut all the way inside. Okay, that's it. If you go to other countries, you see there's overpass, the places where the overpass is here, and you see the houses right near the beach. If you try the country, you've seen it before. Okay, especially the high-rise buildings. That's how it is. We're not going to tear that down just because we want to tear it down, but we have the space that we need. So it's not any right away based on the design and based on the lining. In fact, the Chinese engineers came and they did a whole drone from the air, and it picked up that building is not ready within the space that we need. So it's not the marquee around now. Island Clinic. So somebody asked about Niku Town. It's from Island Clinic through Niku Town and come to Point Foot Junction. So we want to pay from Island Clinic. So if you're coming from Broadway, you turn into Island Clinic and you come all the way and into Niku Town. There is a bridge that should be done to connect to Niku Town. The current road that was paved by Taylor with the concrete, very rough, of course. We'll try to see how we can do some work on that. It connects to that and come out to Point Foot Junction. So that's where it is. Somebody talk about Iron Gate to Altington. Yeah, there are a lot of roads, there are a lot of connections that we need to do. But we do it gradually because resources are scarce, limited resources. This year alone, we're putting almost 20 million into counterpart funding to open up the big projects. So we don't have much resources, but there are a lot of roads that must be done, needs, especially the roads that can connect. If you say Artington, Iron Gate, Artington up to Mangibi, that's a good bypass. Somebody coming from that side do not need to come through the whole rail situation or to Gardensville, just cut in there and they're in Broadway. That's good. We'll look into it, but We don't have the resources now to do so. Somebody asked about the Mount Barkley Road intersection somewhere there, where it's about Nikki and the place community is, where again is another community road. I hope that's something that we can intervene. But one of the things I want to also announce that there are communities that get together, write the ministry and say, look, we got few.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask.
Come,
is that possible?
Yes.
We mobilize their own field,
exactly.
everything.
We work with some community.
Can you please help us?
Yes, we work with some community before the last rainy season came. We are now working with FDA community. Right now, they are in the FDA community doing work there. So yes, when communities do that, we are able to step in because we not have all the resources to be able to initiate those projects. But once you find the resources and come and say, we got few, we bring the machines, we bring the engineers, and they will be there and happy to do the work. And we can get some, you can also get some red dye or so. So there's the community partnership that we initiated. And we working through that. There's a community that written us already. We passed that over to Assistant Minister for Operation, and they're trying to see how they can organize that kind of initiative, and we'll be happy that the community themselves can get involved.
Minister Giddings, we'd like to say thank you for coming. Finally, what do you say to us?
Well, I just want to say we are recommitted to the work that the Liberian people have given the president to do. Road is a priority in our development agenda. Good for us. Tomorrow we should be going to Buchanan to launch the launch of the AAID, our development agenda, by tomorrow, and of course, road remains a key priority. We are happy that our partners are coming around the table to be able to support what we're doing. We're also excited that at least we're pre-qualified to work towards the MCC compact. I hope we're able to achieve that so that we can have more money into our road set, especially our primary corridors. In the communities, we are coming. You see us. We'll be able to intervene where we can. The potholes will be taken care of. You will see street lights everywhere in those communities that are named before the rainy season come. We want to light Monrovia up. It also help for security. In fact, I was told by the mayor and also by the police director that the crime rate within the Monrovia, central Monrovia area has deteriorated. West Point, Slayway, all those places you have lights there 24 hours. I would say during the night, because solar lights off-grid, whether LEC is on or not, those lights are on. And I think it's good for us to do off-grid solar lights in our community.
Minister
Thank you for having me.
Thank you ever so much. This is how we draw down the curtains on today's edition of the OK Morning Rush. We will be back here tomorrow. Next is Liberia at 10.
That is working in this country and with a blood that is now making determination as to where the country go budgetarily.